What's up, watch fans? Welcome back to another video, and this is an unboxing slash first impressions video of one of my 5 Grail watches. Yes, my first ever video on this channel a couple of weeks ago was discussing my top 5 Grail watches. Now, they don't necessarily have to be the most expensive watches out there. For example, the Omega Snoopy is not the most expensive watch in my collection, maybe not even top 5, but it's not about that. The Omega Snoopy has so much heritage and history, and I've never owned an Omega watch, which is kind of mind-bending when you think about it, because I do have over 30 watches. Yeah, I think that says more about me than anything else, because every true watch collector should have an Omega in there. And when it comes to Omegas, the Speedmaster is the daddy. So in this video, I want to unbox and tell you a little bit of the history behind the 50th anniversary Snoopy. And of course, at the end of the video, I'm going to let you know the recommended retail price for this watch, and then what I paid for it and where I bought it. So here it is, the Omega Snoopy box. If you haven't unboxed an Omega watch, which by the way, I haven't, this will be my first unboxing of an Omega Speedmaster. Obviously, Omega Speedmaster Snoopy, but I mean any Omega. I've not unboxed anything. So I am excited for this. I know, having watched numerous videos on this, that the unboxing experience is second to none. Omega go all out in making it as special as possible. So let's take off the outer box first. And as you can see straight away, I mean, look at this briefcase thing here. Just amazing. So as you can see straight away, you have a well packaged and protected box here. You do have the original Omega buyer's receipt. Unfortunately, I didn't buy mine direct from an AD because they're almost impossible to get, but this lucky person did, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. And then you have the Omega Speedmaster operating instructions, which you wouldn't think a watch would need such a large manual, but hey ho, Omega go all out with that. Now, continuing on with the unboxing, there is actually something special here. The Snoopy 50th anniversary means a lot in the Omega world. In terms of heritage and history, obviously Omega and NASA go together for over 50 years. However, the Snoopy connection goes a bit deeper. For those that don't know, a brief history in time. Round about 1968, prior to the Apollo 13 moon launch, there was an award given out to NASA supporters, NASA staff, not the astronauts themselves, but anyone that made a major contribution to the human space launch mission were given a Silver Snoopy Award. Not everyone. This is a very coveted award within the space world. Well, in 1970, Omega were given a Silver Snoopy Award for their contributions to NASA and the Apollo 13 space mission. Now, we've all seen the Tom Hanks movie. There's a lot that goes on. Ultimately, on the way to the moon, there was an issue with a couple of fuel cells. By issue, I mean they completely failed, which left the astronauts with not enough fuel to land, take off, and come back round the moon on their trajectory to Earth. So they made the decision to turn off all of the electronics, essentially, meaning they were left with no digital timers, no outputs, no tachygraphs, speedographs, anything like that. They were relying on a watch, and it was the Omega Speedmaster, and through geniuses on board and in Houston control, they calculated that they would need to burn 14 seconds of fuel in order to enter the Earth's atmosphere at the right trajectory and angle. Therefore, the Omega Speedmaster literally saved the lives of those 3 onboard astronauts. So they got the Silver Snoopy Award, and in 2020, they released the 50th anniversary edition. Now it's still in production, they still do it, hence why I have a brand new 2026 unworn stickered edition here. Now, as mentioned, there is something else before you unbox, and it's down here. This little ribbon actually produces a quite fantastic book. And this book gives you all of the background, the history, what had gone on, the connection between NASA and the Snoopy Award. This is such a nice bloody touch. There you can see the trajectory, swing round the moon in order to save energy and get back to Earth. Absolutely outstanding presentation from Omega here. This is what you're paying for. Obviously paying for the watch you're going to see soon, but you really do pay for the whole story behind here. And this is something I will treasure forever, folks. So we've tucked that away. Now that's everything outside of the briefcase. So I am just going to pack that away, and then we'll talk about the contents of the briefcase itself. So here it is, the beautifully designed briefcase looking box here for the Omega Snoopy. Speedmasters, I believe, all come in a slight briefcase design. This is obviously blue because the Snoopy is blue, and this is absolutely usable. This here loops through and you can use it like a briefcase. Now I've not sealed mine, but you can seal it and use it like a briefcase. Now anyway, enough mic, let's see the watch. Boom. Yes, look at this, and obviously I'm going to show you a lot more about it, but this is stunning. It's a manual wound 42mm watch. Ultimately, at the base of it, it's a chronograph watch, but the intricacies, the detailing, there's so much to go through here. I will do a full review in due course for my first impressions. Again, I'm looking at this for the first time today, and I can't stop looking at it. As mentioned, the ceramic bezel, which is actually kind of counterlevered, it kind of swoops over the sides to the subdials with Snoopy at the 9 o'clock position. Everything about this watch, the dial, the bezel, the detailing, the colours are absolute perfection in my opinion. And it's silver, the silver indices, hands. The dial is full silver. They've just done treatment to make it look off-white. And I think it's just uber classy. Now I wear big watches sometimes. I've got, you know my collection, and if you don't, subscribe and you'll see much more of it. I have some really classy pieces as well. This might just take the biscuit. Absolutely stunning. And for those that don't know what a manual wind is, you don't have to pull it out and twist. You literally just wind, and as soon as you start to feel quite a bit of resistance, that's your watch wound. This does have a 50-hour power reserve. If you're wearing your watch daily and it's a manual wind, you might want to get into the habit of just every morning before you pop it on, give it a wind, 30 or 40 full rotations, and that will then make it tight, which means you've got a fully wound watch. So, believe it or not, the watch cushion is also special. And I know you're thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Well, look. The watch cushion itself, and I'll just take off the watch, is a loop. It's a loop, folks. So you can see all that immaculate detailing on the watch. Honestly, the attention to detail on every single facet of this unboxing Well done, Omega. Really, really impressed. And as I say, I know I sound like a broken record here, but this is my first Omega, and I am gushing, and I'm not ashamed about it. Now, one other thing I didn't even show you here was at the top, the Omega Snoopy. A lot can be achieved in 14 seconds, or see what can be achieved in 14 seconds. And again, that's in relation to the 14 seconds they had to time exactly using a Speedmaster. Because if it wasn't 14 seconds of burning fuel, if it was 12 or 16, it wouldn't have been enough, or it would have been too much. Yeah, really, really cool. Now, underneath here, you have some other little goodies. For example, this beautiful Silver Snoopy Award designed cleaning cloth. If you are a watch owner, if you do content on YouTube, you want to make sure you're always giving your watches a wipe. Love it. So yeah, really cool that they include this. It's not just a generic one. It is designed specifically for the Snoopy. And then you may think the unboxing is done now, but no. Underneath here, you have your cards, and I want to hide some stuff. I'm just going to show you quickly. There is your warranty cards with serial numbers, because you will need to get this watch serviced at some point as well, or you may want to sell it. As I've talked about before, I buy my watches full set, box, papers, and where possible, brand spanking new like this one. 2026, unworn, brand new, stickered. Beautiful. Now, the final thing inside the box before I touch on the strap just a little bit is here. This is a watch box. A travel case for your Speedmaster. Also in that beautiful fabric design. What other unboxing experience do you get like this? And of course you can just clip it on here. Look at this, included in this box, which was inside another box. I know people can sometimes be snobby when it comes to Omega compared to the likes of Rolex and AP and Patek. But folks, what do you think? Should Rolex, AP, Patek be going the extra mile when it comes to their unboxings like Omega? I mean, you're certainly paying a premium for it. I believe they should. Now, that's all the unboxing done. I do just want to touch on the strap and show you what it is like on my wrist. Now, I have fairly chunky wrists. This Big Bang Unico is like 44 or 45 mil, huge big case. The Snoopy is very, very different. While it is 42 mil, it might wear slightly bigger because it's a chronograph with the pushers. But I just want to show you. I will be honest, as I always am. I tried this on a couple of hours ago and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it does suit my wrist. You can tell me. One thing I am sure of, it's the first fabric strap I've owned in a long, long time. And I'm not the biggest fan. What do you think? I mean, don't get me wrong, it does look stunning and it does fit my wrist. It's not about the fit. I don't know, the fabric, while it is really nice nylon and it does look, as mentioned, really classy, I think I might fork out the roughly 1200 GBP for the bracelet. And I think this on a bracelet would be absolutely epic. There are aftermarket bracelets, rubber straps, material snaps, NATO straps. There's lots you can do with Omegas and there's lots of third party. But yeah, that's it on the fabric strap it comes with. And that's it on my wrist. Absolutely stunning. So, you want to know how much it was? I'll throw it back to me and give you all those juicy details. So that's some background on the Omega Snoopy and of course a look at the fantastic unboxing experience that comes with all Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch editions. Now, money. Yes, The Omega Snoopy edition is one of the few Omega watches out there that costs more on the grey market and is not impossible to get, but very, very difficult to get hold of from an authorised Omega dealer. The RRP on this watch from Omega is £10,000. And don't think you can walk into an AD and get your typical 10 to 15% off that price. For those that don't know, Omega, Hublot, Tag Heuer, don't go to one of the dealerships and pay full price on almost any watch. Always make sure you're getting a minimum of 10% off. And in case you're wondering how, just tell them, just ask, just say, yeah, I'm looking for 15% off that. And you'll generally get to that figure or 10% at the very least. Little tip for you there. But that all goes out the window when it comes to the Snoopy edition because A, your dealer probably won't have one, and B, you're not getting a discount. The RRP on this is £10,000. But because it's so sought after, because it is such a beautiful watch that is hard to get, you're going to have to go for the grey market more often than not, and that's where I went. For my 2026 brand new unworn stickered example, I paid £12,500. Yes, I paid over retail, and if I were to sell it at any point, I may lose some money. But I'm not selling it. I got this watch because my main channel hit 100,000 subscribers. So it was a treat to myself and it will be kept. My Grail watches are not for sale. As always with this brand new watch channel, thank you so much for watching. We're almost at 200 subscribers, which again, when we compare it to my main channel, doesn't seem like much. But this is a real passion of mine. This is a proper passion project with no profit to speak of, with no goal to sell anything. I just want to talk about watches because they are beautiful things. So thank you very much for watching, subscribing, liking the video. And I'll be back soon with my full review of the Hublot Big Bang Unico. I have actually had this on my wrist for over a week consistently. That might change with the Snoopy arriving, but I do have my thoughts on this. And as I was saying about not paying full RRP price, yeah, Hublot might take the biggest hit when it comes to brand new and grey market watches. Until then,